A very good morning, children. Hope you all are fine and enjoying your vacation. But yes, a little study is important. So, I am here today to start with the second chapter of our social science, that is First World War and Russian Revolution. Here, children, we will be studying about First World War and what were the changes that took place in Russia. The yearning of the Western European countries for expansion of the empire and acquire new territories or colonies resulted in these countries going to Asia and Africa. So here it is said that Western European countries were very greedy and they wanted to have their own empire. They wanted to expand their empire and take on more and more colonies or territories, that is places or states you can say, and this had forced them to enter Asia and Africa. Thus, they established their colonies and expanded their rule. So, like this, they expanded their rule in Asia and Africa. Consequently, there arose a competition between European nations to establish colonies. So, of course, when many countries are coming up, then of course there will be a tough competition. So, they had to face a tough competition between European nations to establish their own colonies or territories. This greed for colonization among the Western European nations caused the economic, social, and cultural ruin of the Asian African countries. Ruin means they had lost or faded. So, because of this greed, European nations' greed, Asian and African countries had lost or got faded with these things, that is economic, that is in context to money, social, and cultural way. The result of this on world politics was such that the First World War, Bolshevik Revolution, etc. took place. So, as there was world politics, because each one was fighting for their own profit. So, there was world politics, and because of this, there was First World War, Bolshevik Revolution, etc. Now, first topic over here we have is Western Europe and colonialism in Asia, Africa. The Western European countries wanted to expand their empire in Asia, Africa. Their greed for colonization did not spare even their neighboring countries. So here it is said that they were so greedy that they didn't even spare or they didn't even leave their neighboring countries. Neighboring means just next to their countries, neighboring countries, as we have neighbors, they were neighboring countries. Spain had taken control over Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg. So in these three places, Spain had taken control. Then, after some time, some of their provinces were captured by France. Leftover provinces were captured by France. When the Portuguese king died without an heir, Portugal came under the rule of Spanish king because of his blood relation. So now when this Portuguese king died without any heir, now heir means without his own son. So when his own son was not there, so because of this, this Western countries, they took benefit, that is Spanish people, they took benefit and they established their rule over this Portugal, and because of his blood relation. So for 6 decades, the monopoly of establishing colonies in non-European countries was with Spain. So for 6 decades means 1 decade is equal to 10 years. So 6 decades means 60 years. For 60 years, Spain had ruled over Portugal and he had established his monopoly. Monopoly means only one person ruling over. Similarly, Italy and German states became the victim of the greed of France and Austria. Now, same way, Italy and German also became victim of France and Austria, because in these two places also were having force on Italy and German. When the European nations were tightening their grip over the Asian and African nations, when European powers were putting a grip on Asian and African nations, many European nations which had become free, following the footsteps of England, made many of the Afro-Asian nations their colonies. So when this European people were tightening, were having a very good grip on Asian and African nations, that time many of the European nations had become free. So that time some of the places had also become free, following the footsteps of England. So they had followed the way England had followed and they had become free. and made many of the Afro-Asian nations their colonies. So same way as England had become free, and same way they had also established their colonies. Now colonialism in Asia. After strengthening its grip over India, England expanded its empire to Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Singapore, and Malaysia. So, after having a nice grip over India, now it has got more, you can say, motivated, you can say. So, now England had expanded its empire to Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Singapore, Malaysia. So, in four places, it had expanded its empire. England entered China also. Then, after getting these places, he entered China also. But due to opium trade between England and China, there were wars which came to be known as opium wars in history. They were continuous, they were having trade between them, and there were many wars. Thus, this war came to be known as opium wars in history, that is 1839 to 1842. China lost this war and thereby lost five of its ports to England, where England could carry on their trade and thus expanded their empire. So, in this war, China lost this war, and England had taken over their five ports on which they could do their trade. This way, England had expanded their empire. Taking advantage of China's weakness, Japan, Russia, Germany, France, Belgium, and America also acquired trade and political rights. So they saw how China is now weak. So these these countries also took advantage. That is, Japan, Russia, Germany, France, Belgium, and America also acquired trade and political rights. Enormous oil resources in the desert region of West Asia attracted the Europeans to establish colonies over there. Now, in the West Asia, the desert region has too much or a very good quantity of oil resources. So, because of this oil resources, Europeans got attracted and they established their rule over there. England, Germany, Russia, and America established oil companies in Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Bahrain, and made efforts to take care of their own interests. So they all established oil companies in these places, and they had made effort, or they had made themselves sure that they get their own interest or they can get their own profit. Next, we have colonialism in Africa. The Dutch established its colony for the first time at the end of 15th century in South Africa. Don't get confused. It is said that first time it had established its colony during the 15th during the end of 15th century in South Africa. After that, England and France established their colonies in Cape and Algeria in North Africa respectively. So after that, England had established their colony in Cape and France had established in Algeria. These two places are in North Africa. The vast provinces of Africa seemed quite suitable for acquiring raw material and selling ready products post-industrial revolution, because of which European countries competed to establish colonies. So there was a big competition, because all European countries wanted to establish their own colonies, and here in Africa they found that they can get very good raw material and can sell the ready-made product. That was done after industrial revolution. King Leopold of Belgium seized the vast provinces of Congo and established his rule. So this King Leopold of Belgium had established his rule in Congo. England established its colonies in Egypt, some provinces of East Africa, and some of South Africa. So England had its colonies in Egypt, East Africa, and South Africa. France established its colonies in Tunisia, Morocco, and West Africa provinces, whereas France had also established in Tunisia, Morocco, and West Africa. Provinces means states, children. Germany established its empire in some provinces of East and West Africa. So here in two places Germany had established its empire, that is in East and West of Africa. A conference for the European nations was held in Berlin in 1884 till 85, that is in 1 year it was held. Conference is a meeting that was held. in the midst of this competition to establish colonies. So, in the middle of this competition, this conference was held to establish colonies. Different African territories were divided among the European nations at the end of the conference. So different African territories, different African colonies were divided among the European nation. They were given some of the nations in the hands of European nations at the end of the conference. Thus the colonial dominance of different European nations was established over the entire Africa, of course, because their own place were in a parts it was given to European nations. Of course, it was a type of humiliation, or you can say it was type of an insult, you can say. So of course there was a feeling of dominance over entire Africa. While on one hand, the greedy European nations were trying to colonize various Asian African territories, on the other hand, Germany and Italy had completed the process of its respective political unification. So, here you can see a twist over here where the Europeans are busy capturing different territories and colonies. On the other hand, you can see that Germany and Italy, they have come together, united, and they want to rule over. So political unification was done by Italy and Germany. Thus unified Germany plunged means took into the competition of industrialization, commercialization, colonization. So they had taken a big plunge means you can say a big jump into the competition of industrialization, commercialization, and colonization. Thus, these quickly changing global phenomena had exploited some of these countries politically, economically, and socially, due to which the development had stopped. This had led to the First World War. So, of course, when these all changes were taking place, because all were coming and they were just taking away some of the other territories or colonies. So, of course, there was a changing phenomena that was taking place in some of the countries, and because of this the countries were exploited politically, economically, and socially, and so their development had stopped also. This had led to the First World War. Now, what were the factors that caused First World War? What were the reasons that had taken place because of which First World War took place? The First World War could be considered as one of the most heartbreaking and unforgettable events of the modern world. Many factors are responsible for this. The First World War began on 1st August 1914. Germany had defeated France in the Southern War, because of which France had to sign the Frankfurt Treaty, according to which France had to pay a war fine as well as give away two of its provinces. Okay, so now here you can just keep in your mind that the First World War began on 1st August in 1914. Then it is said that Germany had defeated France in Southern War. So there was a Southern War, and this war was between Germany and France. In this, Germany had defeated France, and because of this, France had to sign the Frankfurt Treaty. Now, treaty is an agreement, so that had to be signed by France, according to which France had to pay a war fine. So according to this Frankfurt Treaty, France had to pay a war fine as well as give away two of its provinces. Provinces is states, that is Lorraine and Alsace, to Germany. France had not been able to overcome this humiliations. Of course, France was not able to digest this insult. Thus, the Frankfurt Treaty itself was the cause for the First World War. So, what was the reason for the cause of the First World War? One of the reason is Frankfurt Treaty, because according to this treaty, they had to give the amount as well as they had to give away two of their provinces. Let us see the first factor, that is economic factor. England had established its vast empire in Asia and Africa in the 19th century. It exploited its colonies economically and became rich. Due to industrialization and swift colonization, Europe required huge quantity of raw material. So here we had already studied, that only is repeated, that England had established its colonies in Africa and Asia in 19th century, and they had captured many colonies and they became very rich. Now here Europe required huge quantity of raw material. In the last quarter of the 19th century, Germany had started the competition to procure the markets in Asia and Africa. So as we studied just now uh, that England was busy taking up all the places, whereas Germany was trying to get united with Italy and take away the market. So here Germany had started the competition to procure the markets in Asia and Africa. Germany started supplying cheaper goods in comparison to England and France. So now here Germany is playing a very smart role, that he is trying to sell the things in a very cheaper amount than England and France. The Afro-Asian markets that England and France dominated were thus broken. So, as you know that Afro-Asian markets were ruled by England and France, but Germany is providing cheaper goods. Of course, they were feeling dominated. Consequently, there was an intense economic competition between Germany and England. So, there was a very tough competition between Germany and England. Next, we have militarism. Militarism force was necessary and important for the competition that the European nations got into for expansion. England, France, Austria, Russia, etc. had begun expanding their military power, while in countries like Japan, Italy, and Germany, compulsory military training had started. Production of weapons was increased under the pretext of self-defense. Thus, militarism got an impetus and military competition added to economic competition created a serious atmosphere of war. So, because of, as you know that militarism was very important for any super ruling country, because they can attack on any of the country whenever they wish that their role is going to get spoiled. That time they need militarism, so they need to have force with them to attack during the competition time. So England, France, Austria, Russia had started expanding their military power, while in countries like Japan, Italy, and Germany, compulsory military training had started. So whereas in Japan, Italy, and Germany, they had started giving them training for the military war. Production of weapons was increased under the pretext of self-defense. So they had started even producing weapons for self-defense. Thus, militarism got an impetus and military competition added to the economic competition created a serious atmosphere of war. Groupism, secret treaties. So, after first 2 points, that is economic factors and militarism, third is groupism. Groupism and secret treaties played a role in the First World War. The world was divided into two groups before the First War. So, third factor is groupism. It was said that the world was divided into two groups before the First World War. On one side was the group of Germany, Austria, Hungary, Bulgaria, and Turkey, while on the other side was the group of England, France, Russia, and Japan. So these were the two groups that were divided before First World War. A feeling of jealousy, enmity. Enmity means not having a very good feeling for others, that is jealousy type of feeling, hatred you can say, mistrust, fear, and hatred evolved between the groups, which was important factor for the First World War. So there was feeling between these two groups, and this had led to the First World War. Feeling of fierce nationalism. The independence of Belgium and Greece and the unification of Germany and Italy were the result of nationalism. So, independence of Belgium and Greece, these two countries were free, whereas Italy and Germany got united. So, this was the result of nationalism. Nationalism means that's a feeling for one's nation. But later, the feeling of nationalism took an extreme and narrow form in Europe. So, when it is in an limited extent area, the nationalism feeling for nation, that time it is good, but when it reaches to its extreme, it becomes harmful.
So same thing is happening. The feeling of nationalism took an extreme and narrow form in Europe. Economic jealousies, competitions, and colonialism in Europe had increased so much that the national interest of each other began to clash. So now they both wanted good for their own nation, but these two, their both economic jealousies and competitions and colonization had increased so much that they had began to get clash. Clash means there were some or the other uh, that you can say tucker, you can say that both were getting in front of each other. Leading European nations began teaching extreme and destructive nationalism to its people. So now European nations were teaching destructive nationalism, that is destructive means which is not good for the nation, that was taught by European nations. Love for own nation and hatred for other nation was encouraged. So here they were taught that we should love only our nation and we should not have a good feeling or we should have hatred for other nation was encouraged. The German chef Kaiser William was the other originator of nationalism and colonialism. So another one is Chief Kaiser William. So he was also the one who had fond of nationalism and colonialism. He was over ambitious and believed in world leadership. So he was very ambitious. He was not normally ambitious, but he was over ambitious and he believed in world leadership. That is, he wanted to have leadership over the whole world. He wanted to get things done to his will and with the help of his grand military power. So he wanted to get things as he wished with the help of his military power. The feeling of war spread across other nations, as in Germany, and this had resulted in the First World War. So there was a feeling of war across the other nations as it was in Germany, and so same thing happened. The First World War took place. Next is role of newspapers. The newspapers of European nations aroused so much of hatred among people with their mutual, derogatory, provocative, exaggerated, and false write ups by spitting venom amongst rival nations that the rulers of the respective nations could not even make efforts for establishing peace and harmony. So, with the help of newspaper, the European nations started spreading hatredness among people with their mutual, that is together, provocative, exaggerated and false write-ups. That is, exaggerated means to show too much, provocative means it was just from their point of view, and they were writing up all rubbish things that were not appropriate. That is, spitting venom means which was giving a poisonous type of feeling among the against the rival nations. So it was giving a poisonous type of feeling for the rival nations that the rulers of the respective nations could not even make efforts for establishing peace and harmony. So the respective nations against whom it was done, they were not even able to establish peace and harmony. Harmony is a maintained balance or a peace, that is harmony. Philosophy about war. Now what is philosophy about war? The policy of war is welfare took root in Europe. So war is welfare, that thing was taken up in Europe. The German writer Trotsky published maxims. Maxims means slogans like only the mighty deserve to live. So according to this German writer, it was said that only the mighty deserve to live. The one who is very big only can survive. And war alone is the national need. And according to him, he has given another slogan that what he believed. War alone is the national need. And war can only save the nation. Next, the German writer expressed war as a sacred work. Then another one is there, German writer Nietzsche. He believed that it's a sacred work. So there was different philosophies, different thinking about war.